Alright, so just one little final while loop. Let's write one to check the temperature of your house. So we're going to define a max temperature, and we'll say that max temperature is, let's say, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have somebody check the temperature of their house, and then we'll run a while loop to tell them to make some changes if it is too high. So let's go with this, and we'll say we're going to define a variable called temp, and we were going to ask them to input what is the temperature of the room. Leave a space in there so it prints out really nice. And then what we'll do is we'll make our while loop. So we'll say while temp is greater than max temp. Make sure the spelling is right. So while it is greater than max temp, we're going to have it do something. We're going to tell it, the temperature's too high. So print the temperature is too high. Actually, let's put a warning there too. So print warning, exclamation point, the temperature is too high, print reduce temp by 2 degrees. And in fact, why don't we say that it's a smart house and it automatically does that? So we will take our temp, and we are going to make that equal temp minus 2. So once again, it reads this, and it goes, okay, temp, it takes 2 away from temp, and then restores it in the variable temp. So we can keep restoring that, and then from there, we'll print the temp is now set to plus str and temp. Find out what that new temp is, and that should be, and then that should be it, because we get to the end, we've redefined temp, it will come back up here, and it will run again. And let's give it an out statement. We will say print the temp temperature is now at acceptable levels. Alright, so what should happen is we have our max temp. We will input a temp. If it's below the max temp, it'll just go right to the statement, because it'll skip the while loop, because it'll be false and it'll just jump right out. But true, so while the temp is greater than, it'll say warning, the temperature is too high, reduce the temp by 2 degrees, it will subtract 2 from it, it will state what the new temp is, and then it will roll back up, because until this statement is false, the while loop will keep running. So let's run this one. So let's say the temperature, let's just start out at 85. Temperatures now is acceptable levels. Great. Let's run it again, and let's run it at 95. And we can see it flew by. The temperature is too high, reduced it by 2, 93, reduced 91. 91 is still above max temp, so it did it again, got it to 89. It's now at acceptable levels. Now we can put pause statements and all that in here, but that doesn't really matter right now. Just this is how the while loop works. Let's run it one more time, and let's make it absurd. Let's say it's 150 in the room, and you can see it just keeps going until it gets it down to where it is below that max temp. Now it set it to 90 and said everything's okay. Which, remember, we've got greater than in there, not greater than or equal to. So 90 is not greater than 90, and so the while loop kept running. Okay, so those are a couple examples for while loops. Next time, what we're going to do is we will look at our other repetition structure, and that is going to be the for loop. So we can sit there and, give it a number of times to do stuff. With that, please remember your homework, and I'll see you all next week.